were the best team in the NFL back then.
Yes, your timing was not good. Had you
Timing,
been
yeah, timing was
drafted
not
by the
good.
Green Bay, had you been drafted by the Chicago Bears, you could have
Correct.
ended up playing with Walter Payton, and you would have a Super Bowl ring.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I could have been his backup,
Yeah, and you get the same ring he gets.
Exactly.
I don't even know who his backup was. I believe Harper wasn't it? It was the fullback, not Roman Harper.
Yeah, I think it was Harper, and then they brought in, was that Neil Anderson?
But he was
out
after.
of Florida?
Yes, he was. I think he was after Payton, or at the very end of Payton. Maybe they were. Yeah, he was an outstanding running back at the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Neil Anderson, I think so. I haven't checked, but that would have been a great time to be a member of the Chicago Bears.
Right.
Now, I was incorrect. You never played for Bart Starr, right?
No, never did.
Yeah, that would have been great, because the people who played for Bart Starr and Forrest Gregg have great stories.
Yes. There's a lot of great stories.
They were both
about Forrest Gregg.
Hall of Fame players, but their approach to humanity and as a coach, I believe, were dramatically different.
Two different coaches.
Yes.
Two different coaches. Yeah. I mean, Forrest was probably more like Vince Lombardi. That's what people say. And, Bart Starr was not as high strong, I would say. But if you think about Forrest Gregg, though, he had a good career in Cincinnati with the Bengals. I believe he made
the Super Bowl. That's why they brought him in. He was going to turn things around. And he also did very well as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He won some with the Browns, and then got to the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals, losing, I believe, to the 49ers in a very close game.
Right. I think was that quarterback? Was that Ken Anderson?
I believe it was Ken Anderson. You had two of them. The Bengals made it twice.
Yeah.
The second time with Boomer Esiason, I don't think.
Yes.
Forrest Gregg. But
he
you are
wasn't there with Boomer.
Yeah. I feel bad for you.
But you're right. No, don't feel bad for me. I think it's a privilege that to be even drafted. How you come from a little country town like Albany, Georgia, right? You get to go to UW-Madison.
But wait a minute, back up. Don't hold on before we get to. Don't start doing that. You were one of, if not the top high school running back in the state of Georgia. How high were you?
Well, I was the number one player in the state of Georgia.
Yes.
My senior year.
That's incredible.
Number one high school player.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, they had me as an athlete, though. I was that guy. So I was designated as an athlete. Now they recruit guys and they don't give you a position. They just say athlete.
Yeah.
So it was Gary Allison, athlete. So they didn't know where to play me. So when I was visiting all these schools, I was between defensive back, I was between running back, and I was between receiver. Now, I played all those in high school. 1 year in high school, running back, 1 year, and 2 years in high school, I played wide receiver. So really wherever they needed me.
Number one high school player in the state of Georgia. I'm just going to check. Correct. I bet there's an impressive list. Herschel Walker would have been
there. The year after Herschel Walker, yes.
Yeah. I don't know the other great high school football players in Georgia, but I assume there's some really good ones. Yes. All right, so you had Diva. Now, and for people who don't know, they're young. You were running back at Wisconsin. Was there consideration to going somewhere else and play a different position, or did you want to be? Or I think of you as a running back, though. I'm guessing you could have been a pretty good safety.
Yeah, so I played safety in high school.
Yeah.
University of Georgia, I was going to play wide receiver because why, Homer?
I don't know, because wide receiver. I don't see you as a wide receiver because they had Herschel Walker.
Because they had Herschel Walker. They had already told me.
But I would have picked you.
We don't need a running back.
I didn't recruit you, but I'd have picked you as a defensive back before wide receiver. I don't see
Now
you as a
at
wide receiver.
Wisconsin, my freshman year, I started out as a defensive back. My
Yeah.
freshman year. Yeah.
And then what happened?
Safety. Well, then guys got hurt, and then they moved me from safety to wide receiver, and then they moved me from wide receiver to fullback, and then they moved me from fullback to tailback. I was blessed, Homer, to do it all.
You were blessed, but you also deserve credit for doing whatever it is you did to produce all your ability, because I'm sure you were a hard worker. And was Larry Emery running back at Wisconsin at your time?
Yeah, Larry Emery was from Macon, Georgia. I actually recruited Larry Emery.
He was younger than
to
you.
Wisconsin. Yeah, he was a year or two younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that time we had another guy a year older than me, a year or two older than me. His name was Chucky Davis.
Yes.
He was from Macon, Georgia.
He wasn't. I thought he should have been better than he was.
Yeah, he was the state player of the year in the state of Georgia.
Like you were.
The year before Herschel Walker.
Nothing against the two of you, but how can I say this nice? Neither of you were close to Herschel Walker because no one was close to Herschel Walker. I feel bad for people who tried to tackle him in high school. For example, I don't know that this occurred, but when I was at Wisconsin, there was a player who had played against Jim Bertelsen. He went on to play at Texas and played many years in the NFL. So I believe he's from Hudson, Wisconsin. They played against him, and they said, we tried to tackle him. He said early in the game, a couple guys tried to tackle him and got hurt so bad just trying to tackle him that he said as the game went on, we would all fake like we were trying to body block him, cut his legs out, knowing that he was going to probably jump over us. Yeah. And we did that. And I'm guessing that Herschel Walker hurt 50% even more to someone who tackled him in high school.
And he played at a super, super small school in the state of Georgia. So there wasn't a lot of competition for him in high school.
Now, were there games? Now, this I don't know. My brother coached at a private school in South Bend, Indiana, which was just, they were horrible. And they had a kid, Anthony Johnson, who went on to play at Notre Dame, played in the NFL as a fullback. He claimed in one game, Anthony Johnson was never tackled. They were playing some other. He said they pushed him out of bounds a few times. Do you think it's possible that Herschel Walker might have played a game where he was never tackled?
Oh, absolutely. In his conference? Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. He was a man amongst boys.
Wow, that's scary. We got to find. I'd love to interview somebody. Like, I just didn't want to die trying to tackle Herschel Walker. Oof, that would hurt. All right.
Although
anyway.
you do know that in my same conference, Quay Walker is from Cordell, Georgia. They were in our conference, so his high school is literally about a half hour, 40 minutes from my high school.
I'll bet he was a scary good high school player too.
I saw him play in high school.
Really?
He was absolutely yes, unbelievable in high school.
My claim to fame is
everything.
Yeah, I can agree. I don't know that they would decide where he would play.
Yeah.
Because I bet he could even be a running back if he wanted to. And then that would.
Quay Walker did everything down there. It was Crisp. They call it Crisp County High School in Cordell, Georgia.
I, by the way, saw Herschel Walker compete in the Drake Relays in the 4x100. The star of his team was Calvin Smith, who I think may have won a gold medal. Yeah. But Herschel Walker was twice the size of anybody else running in that competition.
Well, I ran against Herschel Walker at state high school track meet, and the first time we were in the lane side by side, let's just put it this way, homie, he filled the whole lane.
That's the way to put it. He filled the whole lane.
He filled the whole lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? There was no room.
Again, I don't mean to be rude, but there's no way you beat him unless he got hurt.
No, I did not. Of course not. You kidding me?
He was world class. And I think
we had this other the best sprinter in the state of Georgia, though, at that time when I was coming up, wasn't Herschel Walker. It was a guy by the name of Roger Kingdom.
Okay.
And Roger Kingdom actually was in the Olympics. He was a hurdler, but he was the guy that was actually the best track guy because he was the track guy in the state of Georgia at that particular time.
Because when I saw,
Vienna, Georgia.
Roger Kennedy, when I saw Herschel Walker in the 4x100 relay, I think as a relay runner, he was the fastest in the world. Because the only thing that prevented him from being world was the start. But for those who don't know, in the relay, you get to start on your own. And it was as they weren't in first place. It was as if the guy ahead of him was going backwards. He was, and I don't know if they can keep track of what your time is for your relay portion, but I believe he was the fastest in the world. Yeah. All right, Roger Kingdom. So how did you do? You're next to Herschel Walker, which means you had to be pretty good because that means you were close to the middle.
Well,
he was clearly in lane 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3. Yeah, and I think Roger Kingdom was in. He was in 4, and I was.
So were
2.
you ever ahead of Herschel Walker? You might have had a better start than he did. No.
No.
All right.
No.
Did you ever think that he would become as good as he did, or did you just know that because he was just not human?
You just knew it. Knew it in high school. When you saw him, you were like, because he was from like a super small town. I was from like a bigger city, you know what I mean, in the state of Georgia. So you didn't really see him, but you had heard
about him. Oh yeah,
a lot about him. You knew it, and then all of a sudden, I think the first time I ever saw him was at the state track meet, and I go, "Oh my goodness, this dude is unbelievable."
What year was he? What year were you, the two of you? Were you juniors, probably?
He was a year ahead of me.
Oh, so he was just man.
Yeah, absolutely,
man. All right, back to we'll break and then we'll get to the Super Bowl. But I apologize.
Yeah, we got to get to the Super Bowl.
I apologize to those people who aren't old enough to appreciate Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker was the first Bo Jackson. That would be the best way, I think, to describe him.
Absolutely, yes, you're absolutely right.
As big as a house and as fast as anybody in the world.
Well, at that time you had Herschel Walker, you had Bo Jackson, you had this other guy by the name of George Rogers.
Yes, and see, I didn't know that he was the Heisman Trophy winner. He played at South Carolina, but I didn't think he was at their level. You're saying he was the same kind of guy.
He was the same kind of guy.
Wow,
same kind of guy.
How do you?
All these guys are like 6'2".
I know.
230.
It can run a 10 flag under 10. So how do you tackle him without?
Then it was yards.
How do you?
Just get out of the way, Homer.
Well, somebody's got to tackle him. You try. How do you?
Right.
All right. To the current, but it won't be as good. But the second quarter with Gary Ellison, he is in Las Vegas. Next.
Can't wait.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
We have a problem on 894 southbound, right about at Beloit Road. The left lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. We're seeing delays stretching all the way back to almost Greenfield Avenue, so give yourself that extra time there. Otherwise, eastbound 94 backing up from about 92nd Street through the Stadium interchange. Westbound side is tight from 16th Street out to Hawley Road. We've also got a disabled vehicle on the left shoulder on the ramp from westbound 94 to northbound 41 in the zoo. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies with the low of 31. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some Why are you telling me? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows
let me
streaming
know
on
what I have
video.
By me, by the way, I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
KC and San Fran are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount liquor.
Q Club of Wisconsin is the hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we got great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where you know we pile it high.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X Golf's full bar and food menus. X Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA Pro. Everyone is welcome at X Golf AmFam. Book your sim today, xgolfamfamfield.com. I'll see you out there.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership by joining the U.S. Army ROTC. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer or contact your local Marquette University Army ROTC program to get started. It's the Homer Hour. Gary Ellison runs the show today. He is in Las Vegas. But the cost of a ticket, I was text no way 2000 showing $6,400 was $5,600 earlier in the week. Might as well be $1 million. I ain't paying either. I do want to let you know that I made a call to the most important person I know saying, for what Gary paid, as you get them as a former member of the Packers, he's got to have better seats. Gary, I have bad news. I didn't hear back from my peep. So
yeah, that's okay.
All right.
That's okay.
But I'm going to get in touch with him and not going to be happy. I mean, he's a big Badger fan. Right. You're a legendary Badger running back. Anyway. Yeah. All right. So enough on that. I mean, that's crazy. There's no way individuals are paying that kind of money.
Well, you know, Homer, and it's when you come to Super Bowls, it is about corporate people.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's not the same when you go to a Packer game, right? It just, of course, the crowd, the feel is a little bit different.
But I mean, there used to be some people. I don't know that there are any people now. at that
I think
price.
those people are priced out. Yeah,
Yes.
they're priced out.
They don't want them.
I mean, you're going to drop. I mean, I think there are families that are going, but I mean, you're dropping. I mean, you could easily drop $10,000 for 2 people here.
No, I know. I'm paying $1,000 for a ticket. That's it. I'm not paying more. I'll watch it. No, it's just insane.
Yeah.
All right, the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question: how many Super Bowls will Jordan Love win? 0, 1, 2, or 3? And I'm saying 1 because that seems to be the number for the Packers, and I think he's good enough to get 1, like Favre, like Rodgers. You know, in the state of Wisconsin, it's very hard to do any championship twice. Vince Lombardi did it, but you have the Bucks, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1, Giannis, 1. The Packers, Favre, 1. Rodgers, 1. And, of course, you have the Brewers, 0. But nobody's gotten to 2.
Right.
Other than Lombardi.
I think you're right about that. I mean, that's a great question. Now, I would answer the same way you did. I think is 1. I think if you look at the Green Bay Packers right now, it's not a finished product, right? I mean, you go out and you get a new defensive coordinator. Looks like they're now going to move to a 4-3 defense. And Homer, in my opinion on all of this, I just feel like the Packers need to hit the ground running. I mean, they are a team right now ready to ascend. And now you're changing. And did we need to make a change with Joe Barry? Yes. I'm just stating the obvious is now you're changing to a 4-3, which do you really have the personnel to do it right now? They don't have time to dilly-dally around with this. This has got to work right away. Now, the offense is going to be ahead of the defense because they know where they are. But now you're talking about maybe Preston Smith playing with his hand in the dirt. Now you're talking Rashawn Gary playing with his hand in the dirt. And he did that at Michigan. But if you remember when he was at Michigan, Homer, he didn't have those big numbers playing that spot.
He was the top high school player in the country, and he never played at that level at Michigan.
Never played that level at Michigan. They came here to Green Bay. They kind of turned him loose and used his athleticism. So you have to ask yourself, now you're going to make him put his hand back in the dirt. Do we get the guy that we saw at Michigan? Now, I think if you look at Quay Walker, maybe now you can put him, I think, Homer, on the weak side, or maybe he can play the wide side and use the athletic ability, let him run and hit. I think when you look at Isaiah McDuffie, now I'm talking about the inside linebackers, look at Isaiah McDuffie, who played under Jeff Hafley at Boston College, may be a good fit for your inside backer. And now you got to figure out maybe who is going to be your Sam. So you have Sam, Will, and Mike. Mike is your middle linebacker. Will is your weak backer. Sam is your strong side backer. So I think they've got to figure out some holes where they want to put guys. And what I'm saying to this, now you got to figure out, Homer, your safety, who's coming down the box. I watched Darnell Savage at Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
He was a darn good box safety at Maryland. Made a lot of plays in and around the line of scrimmage. For me, I think he could be that guy that fit in there. You also have Jonathan Owens coming back. I think he can fit that mold. But for me, Homer, they've got to hit the ground running. These guys got to know their role. And I think if you look at right now, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they run that 4-3 offense. 4-3 defense. Chris Jones plays that defensive tackle. They move him around a little bit. That could be Clark in this offense.
All right, let me interject for a second because I got questions. All right, tell me, I mean, you played against both. So what's really the difference between a 4 front or a 3 front? I mean, in terms of the offense and your plan, and does it really matter?
Well, you got an extra guy down in the box is basically what you got. I mean, you got a 4-man front. You got more guys up front, right? But you can do a lot of different things out there.
I mean, you can have a 3 front, but you can have another 4th guy who's literally, if not on the line of scrimmage, he's kind of on the line of scrimmage.
Right. I mean, right now, all this stuff is you can do what you want to do, right? You can mix and match guys how you want to do it. But right now, if you're talking about a 4-man front, it's really about a 4-man front and 3 linebackers, right? And if you're talking about what they were in last year, it was a 3-man front, right, and 4 linebackers.
Right,
really,
or to me,
so now you have one less linebacker, right?
Well, yeah, but I want to. I just think they don't. It doesn't add up to me because I think you always have 5 defensive backs now. So that means you have 4, 2, or 3, 3. But maybe I'm wrong. Right, but I think they play the nickel almost all the time.
Some teams do.
All right.
Some teams do, depending on matchups that they get.
So it's like whether you use that safety is one safety is kind of a linebacker. Then now I got
right.
I don't know, but you're saying you want Savage. Savage would be a box safety. Is basically a safety who's playing more like a linebacker, right?
Correct.
All right.
Now, some people say he may not be big enough, but he played that position at Maryland, or a position similar to that at Maryland, and was really good at it.
But that's the approach, is kind of what I'm saying.
Yes.
All
But
right.
I think it's a huge adjustment for a lot of these guys if they play them that way to get their hands down in the dirt when they were used to standing up.
So that might be the biggest issue. Because I mean, the safety.
Now Luke Van Ness at Iowa played with his hand in the dirt, so that should be very familiar with him if they want to put him out there.
So I'm willing to say, look, he should be able to do both. But you're saying no. Some guys.
No.
Most people are better at one or the other. Would you say or not?
Well, I think it's a different concept. Because you see, now if you look at J.J. Watt, played with his hand in dirt his whole career.
Right.
And could get a lot of sacks, right? His brother, T.J. Watt, although they're a little bit different, could play with his hand in dirt and get a lot of sacks. So it all depends on how they use them defensively. And we won't know what they look like.
But are you going to say, when you watch a guy going, all things being equal, I want a guy who can get his hand in the dirt, or I don't care that, I just observe how well they play? Does it make any difference, or do you lean toward liking one approach over the other?
Well, it feels like it's your players, right? What do they feel like?
Right.
And if you just judge, if you judge it by Rashawn Gary, right? What he did at Michigan, no one knew he was there. When he came to Green Bay, they stood him up. Outstanding. Two different players.
I mean,
So
I'm going to say,
I like your players can do.
Right. If the guy's in the front, either 3 or 4, I want a hand on the ground. That's what I think of a guy in the front line. Guy in the second line, whatever you call him, he's going to have his hand up. But
right. Well, so those would be linebackers.
That's to me. A linebacker is a guy who has a hand up. I don't give a damn where he stands. And if you have your hand down, you're a defensive lineman, either tackle or end. But I don't know if that's right.
Defensive end or tackle is what they call. Yes.
So I mean, somebody can be viewed as a defensive end, but if he doesn't have his hand down, I view him as a linebacker wherever he stands. But I could be wrong.
I tell you what you should do this weekend is look at the Kansas City Chiefs and look at their front. You'll see how it should be played.
I know what the guy said. He said the key to our defense is that big guy in the middle. It isn't even the guy everybody talks about. Who's the guy everybody talks about? Clark or it's not Clark. It's
Clark for us.
But there's
Chris
another
Jones.
And he didn't mention Jones. He mentioned another guy who's like 340 pounds. Yeah. And he said he's the key to our defense because 2 guys have to take him on. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
correct.
But I guarantee you this, weight.
And obviously that goes back to, I think you remember the Packers at one point. I think they had Santana,
Gilbert, yes.
Sean Jones and Reggie White. They ran that 4-man.
They always ran the 4. But they had 4 great guys. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think Gilbert could have played as the middle and the 3, couldn't he?
Right. And so what they had, Santana was that guy that was basically going after the quarterback, and Gilbert was the guy that was mainly
taking up
every foot down for the run. Taking up all the blocks.
And then Sean Jones was a good passer, and Reggie White was not human.
Yeah.
All right. 1-800-990-3776. I give that phone number because people always say, why don't you take more calls? Because whatever you got to say isn't as good as Gary. But we do have a phone number. You can text.
That's not true.
You can text if you wish.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. You can text if you wish, and then Pebble can read the text, and then we can decide. If your text is really good, we might say, all right, we'll give you a shot. Probably not today because Gary's in Las Vegas. He's got all the info. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Okay.
Trouble on northbound 41, right on the Capitol Drive on-ramp to northbound 41. We've got an accident there, so watch out for those delays. Southbound 894, just south of Beloit Road, we've got a broken down vehicle with the left lane blocked. That's backing things up to Greenfield Avenue, so be prepared for that. Westbound 94, slowing out of the Marquette, basically starting around 25th Street through the Stadium interchange. On the eastbound side, backing up from 92nd Street all the way through to about 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low of 31. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Get ready for an unforgettable week at Eagle Sports Range, Wisconsin's largest indoor range and retail firearm selection. They're celebrating their grand opening on February 16th through the 18th. 3 days of action-packed festivities featuring representatives from brands like Smith & Wesson, FN, and Vortex. It's your chance to meet the experts and get up close with the latest innovations in the industry. Plus, brace yourself for thrilling raffles, unbeatable sales, and much, much more. It's not just an event, it's an experience. Be part of the excitement from February 16th through the 18th. Eagle Sports Range, where passion meets expertise. EagleSportsRange.com.
Make this Valentine's Day special for your love. Shop local and trust Welke's Milwaukee florists as the experts. Start Valentine's week early and bring some romance into your life by ordering her a professionally designed Welke's arrangement. Hand delivered to your home or office, Welke's has 100% freshness guaranteed. They offer same-day delivery and have locations in Elm Grove and in Milwaukee at 56th and North. Order now and enter code ESPN to get 10% off your order. Go to Welke's.com and do it now.
Shop can't miss deals on appliances this President's Day at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $75 on every $750 you spend on all major appliances, like LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances. Shop in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 2/28. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilding for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games in the Lambeau Snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey folks, it's time for me to talk about my good friends over at Best Electric. They're a family-owned and operated company that has been in business for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, from residential to commercial projects and even electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality at fair prices. Keep your family safe this winter with whole and partial home generators so the power is always on. Don't forget to keep your electronics and appliances protected with home surge protector services. Connect with the best and visit bestelect.com.
He is in Las Vegas. He is Gary Ellison. Talk whatever you want about the Super Bowl. Take it away.
talk whatever I want to talk about the Super Bowl? Well,
I got
big matchups here, Homer. And I think the biggest thing here for me, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, you can throw him in there too, right? They can get 3 Super Bowls right now, and they're trying to get in that category with Belichick, Tom Brady, Gronk. They're trying to get into that category.
Might I add also Joe Montana, Bill Walsh. Walsh won 3 titles from 82 to 89, and his team then won 2 more. Montana, another one with Seifert, and then Steve Young. They won 5 titles in 13 years. That's actually the group that Kansas City will be going off first before they get to the Patriots. And I emphasize that because people need to realize how depressed the 49er fans are. They have not won a Super Bowl since 1995. You talk about, the Packers. Packers have won 2. Imagine 5 titles in 13 years, and they haven't won one in what's going on now almost 30 years. That's the story of this Super Bowl.
That will be the story. But and the other side to that is really what you said about the 49ers, because really this is what they were built for.
Yes,
they weren't very good. What was that, about 4 or 5 years ago? They started all over again.
Yes,
they got all these draft picks, right? They got all these draft picks.
Well, they brought in, I don't know when Lynch came in, but they made it in 2013 with Harbaugh and Colin Kaepernick, and then I'd have to look, but they got. But
then they started over.
They've been a player many of the years since '95, but no Super Bowls. And when you've won them, and if you don't win them, you're a loser.
Right. And now here's the thing with them. This is the crescendo for them, right? Because now they got to win it, because you're winning paid a lot of guys a lot of money, right? And now you're gonna have to pay your quarterback a lot of money. And so when you start paying these guys a lot of money, that's when you start losing players along the way that kind of helps you get to this point. So they're almost in a must-win
unless your quarterback is really good.
Super Bowl. Well, and their quarterback, I don't know if he's really good.
That's the question.
But they're gonna have to pay him like he's really good.
I don't think so. I disagree. I disagree. If I don't think he's really good, I'm not paying him.
Well, what are you going to do? Start over again?
Yes, they've shown an ability to be a great.
So then, what you risk is falling back again with starting with a new quarterback all over. I don't think they're willing to do that. So they're going to have to pay. They're going to have to pay Brock Purdy in excess of $50 million a year. It's what they will be paying Jordan Love.
Right. I know, but if Purdy doesn't play well in this Super Bowl and they lose, I'm not convinced they have to play him. Yes, there's a risk, but you still have the chance. You start paying him all that money, you got to lose all your other players, and they've shown a pretty good ability to find quarterbacks because this wasn't even the guy they thought was going to be their number 1 guy. He's their number 3 guy. So they get waxed in this Super Bowl. I'm not sold Brock Purdy continues to get that big deal.
I think it will be almost, if they don't go back and sign Purdy, to me, I would think it would be career suicide for them.
All right.
You have to sign Brock Purdy.
Why? If I'm Shanahan, I think I can find another guy.
You're not going to bring another guy in here and start him now.
It's going to cost us a year, maybe.
Is it Kirk Cousins that you want to go sign?
I don't know who it is.
Who is it? Is it Baker Mayfield that you want to go bring in here? Give me the guy that
I don't know, but I have enough. I'm telling you this:
a big chance for San Francisco, if they don't win it with Brock, to move on for Brock. I think will be a huge mistake.
All right, I have enough faith in Shanahan.
We agree to disagree.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, I have enough faith in Shanahan. But if they pay him the money, Purdy, that tells me that Shanahan believes he's special.
And I don't know if he's special.
I know. If he's special, when you pay all the money to the quarterback, you sacrifice it with the money you can have for other positions. So
correct, but that's the going rate. That's the going rate of quarterbacks.
Fine. I don't know. Again, the going rate is that, but you also.
I think you look at the New York Giants and Daniel Jones. How much money is he making?
Well, no, because they made a mistake.
Did he deserve?
No, they were stupid to do it.
And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to continue to happen at that position. That's just how it works out. What you're saying may make sense, but what I'm telling you is how it's going to work. They're not moving on from Brock Purdy if they lose. And he's going to get paid $50 million.
All right. I would lean in your direction. But I know one guy who's got an attitude above himself and his ability to judge quarterbacks, and that's Shanahan, who might consider, I don't want to pay him the $50 million and limit what I can do in other positions because I can find somebody not as good, but good enough for us. Hey, I had another guy. Who was it? Who was the other quarterback that got him to the losing the Super Bowl? And they got rid of him, Garoppolo. You got to sign Garoppolo. No, we don't. I think I can do better.
Well, they had a guy. Well, they thought they had a guy in waiting.
Right. Well, no, they put all those draft choices toward that other guy, and then
I don't know if they have a guy right now in waiting behind Purdy. That's the issue.
All right.
They don't have a guy. What they need to do is in this upcoming draft is if they feel that way, is probably go draft another quarterback.
Well, they're going to draft one either way.
They don't have a guy. They don't have a guy to hand the baton off if Purdy doesn't win the Super Bowl.
Well, like I said, and they might sign Cousins for a year. That's way different than 5 years at $40 million. What?
That could be an option.
Yeah, now we're talking. You're at least saying the options.
I don't know if Kirk Cousins is any much better than Brock Purdy.
Well, he isn't, but I only got him for 1 year, and then I can work on the next quarterback. Because you know what? If they lose the Super Bowl, here's the question you got to ask Shanahan. You got to win a Super Bowl. Can you win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy?
No. And I like your enthusiasm here, but for me, I think, too, sometimes you run against a better team. It's Kansas City. It's their turn. They're the better team. They're the better franchise right now.
Are they the better team?
Yes, they are. They've been proved. They've proven that. I'm talking about over a period of years.
Right, but I'm talking about this year.
You got all these other teams that are trying to beat them in the AFC.
Yes.
And now you run up. Now the 49ers are playing them twice in the Super Bowl and will not be able to beat them. They just have the better team. That's what happened when you have dynasties, right? That's what happened when you had the Cowboys. They were beating everybody, right? At some point, that's what happens back in the day when you had the Steelers or when you had when you had the Patriots when they were doing their thing. That's how it was. They were beating everybody, no matter how good your team was.
If the 49ers lose,
that may be the 49ers' problem.
If the 49ers lose this Super Bowl, I'm going to ask you, all right, Gary, can the 49ers win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy? That's going to just, if they lose, that's the first question the following Friday.
Well, their issue will be, Homer, is the clock is ticking.
I know.
On them.
Right.
Which means that they have to win it now because of these contracts that they paid these guys.
Right.
So now, if you're talking about ascending programs right now in the NFC, it is the Green Bay Packers and it is the Detroit Lions coming after the 49ers. The 49ers are going the other way.
All right, we will be back. I'll try not to talk as much, but it's hard.
No, I love when you talk.
Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
KC and San Fran are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HDTVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Homestead's Tim Franks. The 6'5 senior was recently named as one of 6 finalists for Wisconsin's Mr. Basketball Award, and rightfully so. A prolific three-point shooter this season, Franks has connected on 51% of his shots from beyond the arc. Not to be forgotten, Franks has also dropped 30 points or more in 7 games this season. Despite a loss against Pewaukee over the weekend, entering this week, Franks and his Homestead squad are 13-1 in the North Shore Conference, good for first place. Tim Franks will continue his basketball career next at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota, where he'll play Division I ball. Congratulations to Tim Franks, this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Gary Ellison here from my friends at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's completing a residential or commercial project or even installing electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Services. Find out what they can do for you and visit bestelect.com today.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey folks, your next hangout spot is found right in Waukesha. Q Club of Wisconsin, in the perfect place to catch a game, play some games, and grab a drink. Bocce courts, dartboard, foosball table, and of course, pool tables. 10 of them. Plus, Q Club of Wisconsin has its best fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays. And you just know they'll pile it high. Check out the live music on Saturdays and stop in for brunch every weekend, starting at 9 a.m. It's all happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin on North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Visit qclubwi.com.
This is Gary Ellison in the Homer Hour, and you need to know this. High School Athlete of the Year in the state of Georgia. Or was it Football Player of the Year? Are those the same thing or are they different?
Well, athlete. I'm an athlete. I do it all, homie.
All right, okay. I just want to make sure I have the stat right because I don't want. But back then, High School Athlete of the Year, back-to-back years, you had Herschel Walker and then Gary Ellison. Correct?
Yeah, that's what they say.
It's not what they say. It's fact. Yeah. Herschel Walker. If I ask Herschel Walker, will he know who was the Georgia High School Athlete of the Year the year after?
No.
Well, I'm going to get him on. I'm getting him on the show so that he knows.
No, would he know?
Well, we got a guy.
You don't want to get Herschel. You don't want to get Herschel.
Why not? Why not?
We're going to skip that. Yeah,
why? Not when you're necessarily on what?
No.
What? Because he's a crazy Republican? What does that have to do with anything?
Oh my God, dude.
Hey, I don't care if he's a communist. All I want to tell him is that, do you know who was the Georgia high school athlete of the year after the year after you were?
He won't know.
I know. He's going to know because I'm going to tell him. All right, back to the Super Bowl. I think
you love Vegas, right?
I do. No, the Vegas now is not what Vegas used to be. Vegas used to be.
Well, we know that. Because
it used to be cheap. You could find cheap and fun in Vegas. There's no cheap in Vegas anymore unless you go to the Jose Canseco car wash, and that's scary. You got to go there. You got to go there. You get a car, you got to go by the Jose Canseco car wash. We went there. It's in a part of Vegas that you don't normally go into. So we go there, and I give my credit card to my daughter. Go in and pay for the gas. She gets in, pays for the gas. She says, "Oh, that was different." And I go, "What?" She goes, "The guy who took my money had a gun strapped to the side of his leg." She goes, "I've never gotten gas in a place like this before." I said, "Okay, this isn't actually the same as it was when Jose first started the Jose Canseco car wash, because actually it had all his Oakland A's stuff."
Well, that sounds normal to me. I mean, I have that in my hometown.
I know. I don't know. I have not. I cannot say that I've actually ever gotten gas, and I gave the credit card to the guy, and he had a gun strapped to. Yeah. All right. Go look it up. Jose Canseco. I assume it's definitely off the strip.
Okay. Jose Canseco
car wash. Yes. Just drive by it. The things you learned from me. All right, back to the football game. I think if you're really like an underdog, you got to root for Brock Purdy, because this changes his life. This doesn't do anything to Patrick Mahomes. He's still Patrick Mahomes, even if they lose.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, but Patrick Mahomes right now is looking for legacy.
I know, but he's already lives in the biggest neighborhood. It's just a question of how big his house is going to be.
No. It's what you already stated. He is now chasing.
Yes,
Tom Brady.
But Brock Purdy's living in a mobile home. He has a chance to move into the big neighborhood if he wins. All right, okay.
I think if we were to do a question, I think who does it benefits the most winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's easy. Brock Purdy. All right, let's put it up there. Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. We get okay. Yeah. Which quarterback would benefit the most from a Super Bowl win? Right?
Super Bowl win. Yeah.
Isn't even close.
No, it's Mahomes.
Brock Purdy's on welfare, and he's going to be living in the best neighborhood. Patrick Mahomes already owns a Lamborghini. Now it's whether or not he's going to have two. Take it away, Gary.
Brock Purdy's going to get paid anyway, Homer, regardless after this year.
Fine. Everybody's going to wonder whether he deserves it. If he wins, he's going to deserve it.
I'm not worried about you counting my money, whether I deserve it or not. I'm still getting the money.
Okay. That's true. But we're not talking about his banker. We're not discussing his banker.
My money. You're talking like a true fan.
Yes,
it's my money.
I understand that.
I didn't say my money.
I didn't say Brock Purdy would care. I'm saying the way he would be viewed. Brock Purdy is. You're right. He doesn't care. He's earned his money already.
He's never going to be viewed. He's never going to be viewed. I mean, if he were to win one, how do you view Trent Dilfer?
How do I view him?
Yeah.
He's in the club, baby. He's in the club. He got her done.
Him?
As a player?
How do you view him?
He won with his defense. They had a great defense.
You don't view him like you view Mahomes. This win, if Brock Purdy were
ask me what I would think. Hold on. Ask me what I would think of Trent Dilfer if he hadn't won the Super Bowl. Go ahead. Ask me. What do I think of Trent Dilfer?
Go ahead. What do you think of Trent Dilfer if he had won?
Who?
Okay, fine.
Who? Is he the coach of UAB?
Dan Marino had won one. What do you think of Dan Marino?
Dan Marino is the one exception.
Okay,
but you're correct.
Fine. I agree with that.
Just like, what was the guy from the Tampa Bay who won? Who is that? Brad Johnson. He's in the club.
Brad Johnson.
Ask me about Brad Johnson if they don't win a Super Bowl. Who?
Yeah.
Who? That should be a list. People that would be remembered as who's and owls if they hadn't won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Hostetler maybe? I don't know. All right, who's going to win, Gary?
Kansas City Chiefs, 24-14.
24-14. Mahomes MVP.
Now, the big question is, was Taylor Swift making?
This will be remembered as Taylor Swift's Super Bowl, especially if they win, right? She's bigger than the Super Bowl. Is Taylor Swift bigger than the Super Bowl? Put that up as a discount list question, too.
I like that.
Hell yes, she's bigger than the Super Bowl. Come on.
No,
what do you say, Gary? Is she bigger than the Super Bowl?
No, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, I wonder what sport you play. Just hold on. Hold on to that. Hold on to Johnny Unitas and all that stuff. Next.
We got some backup along southbound 894, all because of a broken down vehicle.